what are some of the things that you are seeing going on behind the scenes? We'll go in this order. From the City of Gearing, Annie Folk.
Yeah, so I think something that there's kind of a misconception about with the city is what our role actually is in trying to make improvements to the community. And so as an example, I'll talk about housing. We all know we have a housing issue. We hear it from our employers that they're trying to attract employees that can't find a place to live. We hear it from our residents that it's really hard to find affordable housing. We're even starting to see an uptick in people living in RVs, which we think is kind of a symptom of the problem. And so we hear from a lot of people, why is the city not building housing? Well, that's not really what we do as the city. We can't just go out and build housing. We provide services, we provide utilities, the library, parks, public safety, things like that. But that's what we do, that's our role. We don't really have the ability or the authority, for that matter, to just go out and build a bunch of housing. But what can we do? So what we have been doing, that is kind of behind the scenes, is working to try to recruit developers who can come and do some of that. And so, for example, one of the ones that we're working with right now is Oikos Development Corporation. And that's one that we went to a housing conference and we met several different developers and had a couple that kind of showed interest, but this one in particular was very interested in the community. So we had them come back. And then the other side of things of what we can do is we can try to make those processes as seamless as possible when we do find someone that's interested in doing business in our communities. And so we've done a lot of work with our comprehensive plan, we've done a lot of work with our zoning codes so that when they did come back, we had some sites ready to show them and we had everything in a row, everything taken care of so that they could go through and get their zone change that they needed. And so they actually have purchased 40 acres and we've got it zoned appropriately, and they have now received their funding so that next spring, if all goes according to plan, they will be able to build some new townhomes. And so they're looking at doing 44 units of housing, 2 and 3 bedroom, single car garage townhomes. So we're really excited about that. So yes, we are working towards these things, but it may not be quite in the way that people expect.
And that's time.
One thing I wish that the public knew about the Scottsbluff Public Schools is really how much we have going on. We were fairly involved parents before I ever got on the board. We knew a little bit about what we were doing, and getting onto the board itself was very eye-opening. With 3,300 students and 570 employees, there's just a lot going on. And so when we talk about every child every day, what does that mean? And what that means is we provide services for children from birth up until a maximum age of 21. And so we have 5 separate elementary schools. Each one of them has its own community support, and it's got a little bit of a community feel. We do the career paths at the high school. And so we're trying to support kids, whether you want to be a teacher or a welder or a doctor or a farmer or go into business. Like, we're trying to provide services for everything that interests every kid. And that's a big job, and it takes a lot of people to do that. We offer services for special education. We've got some specialized behavioral education. We don't like to give up on kids. We really believe that providing opportunities and excitement, and there's so many things that you can be interested in. And whether it's a career in technical education or sports or theater or music, I mean, if you think about all of the kids that are in our valley and every child every day, that's really what we're talking about. We have a good opportunity to work with a lot of community partners. We've got a lot of internships. So we really try to, when you try to serve that many people, it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. And so there's just a lot going on. So I guess that's what I'd like you to know about Scottsbluff Public Schools.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't have a lot of background on what we do as public transit. You just see our buses running all over town. So just some basic information. Last year, we drove more than 323,000 miles and provided over 45,000 trips for residents and visitors to Scottsbluff County. That was medical, shopping, work, social activities, just any trip. We are open to the general public, so we can get you anywhere you need within our operating hours. That number, that 45,000 trips, was a 20% year-over-year growth. We've seen some incredible growth. We have 20 passenger transport vehicles, and two of those are ADA accessible, and then we have 3 support vehicles. We have 6 full-time drivers, 15 part-time drivers, 2 dispatcher schedulers, and an additional 5 training, maintenance, and administrative staff, including myself. We are the only rural transit agency in Nebraska that runs more than 1 fixed route. We have our 2 fixed routes across the Tri-Cities, and then we use what's called demand response to serve the rest of the county. Our annual budget's just under $2 million a year, and about 80% of that comes from federal funding through the Federal Transit Administration. This next year that we've already started in June is going to be a tough haul. We took a 30% budget cut in federal funds. So we're going to have to make some tough decisions. We're likely looking at reducing service, potentially suspending service for a while. I just found that out yesterday. So I just tell everybody here, if you see us out setting up lemonade stands or having a bake sale or something with other brands, please support our cause.
Thank you, Curtis.
One thing I think that's important to know is that Gering Public Schools is one of the largest economic drivers for Gering. We serve over 2,000 students. We have approximately 250 people that work in our school district. Our budget is around $29 million. And what's unique about that is that 80% of that budget goes right back into the community to pay our staff salaries and for our support staff, our teachers and leaders that support our students every day. So a lot of what we do at district office is very behind the scenes, and that we secure grants and look for other partnerships so that we can continue to build on a thriving community. And so a lot of that is, things that we secure through federal legislation, state legislation in regards to school safety and community partnerships and engagement activities and programs for our students are based a lot on grants, not on that $29 million budget that we have to remain tightly in for every penny or dollar that we spend. We've got to be accountable for that. Another thing too is I get a lot of questions, do you work in the summer? And our summer is so incredibly intense and busy because we are getting ready to launch a new school year and we want it to be really smooth. We're staffing positions intensely during the summer, and we're building our budget and forecasting our budget for 2 years out during the summer months. So it is really busy as our students are out having summer recess. One thing that I'm really proud of, I'd like to share about Gering Public Schools, is our partnership with WNCC. We have dual enrollment. Our students have college courses they take at WNCC. And we have the highest passing rate in the region. Our students pass with a 97% passing rate with college courses. And so we think they're doing really well with WNCC.
I did not pay her to say that. Thank you so much.